The Disney Corporation is one of the largest media companies in the world. For over 70 years, Disney has produced some of the most beloved characters in animated films for children of all ages. The most popular amongst young girls are the Disney princesses. Young girls often aspire to become like the idolized Disney princesses that they constantly watch in movies and are surrounded by in merchandise. However, few examples of positive portrayals of women in these movies have emerged over the years, which has greatly affected young girls because they often identify with these adored princesses, thereby affecting conceived beliefs of their future roles in society. In many of the films, conventional representation of female gender roles are conveyed to young female viewers, especially in the first three Disney princess films, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Cinderella, and Sleeping Beauty. These movies came out when stereotypical gender roles prevailed in society and were enforced in the media. Roles such as tending to domestic chores and supporting their children and husbands with caring and nurturing personalities. For example, in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Snow's role was to tend to the dwarfs by cleaning their house as she sang joyfully, as well as nurtured the forest animals and dwarfs, exemplifying motherly characteristics. Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella began the epidemic of princesses' quest for true love and a man of great strength and leadership sweeping the princess off her feet and saving them. From then on, Disney princess films continued to portray various stereotypical images of girls being submissive, weak, and relying on men, which has been proven detrimental to a young girl's development of her role in society. However, after a considerable amount of time in the early 1990s, Disney released a new collection of movies with more progressive princesses. These films Although they still portray very stereotypical images, the newer films convey more fundamental messages that are in line with the pro-feminist movement. These princesses break away from earlier female gender roles and seek greater accomplishment in lifestyles rather than just finding love and getting married to a heroic man. As societal norms change towards greater equality for women and less of a male-dominated society, these movies and the media also change, implementing less conventional female roles. Despite the positive change, the Disney princesses that deviated from the traditional roles were usually shunned and looked down upon in these movies for being more of an individual. Also, each movie still continued to star a heroic prince who at one point or another would save the princess in times of trouble, supporting the idea that women rely on men and could not do or think for themselves. For example, in Beauty and the Beast, Gaston's character states his dissatisfaction with Princess Belle's deviation from her ideal female characteristics. He says,
"It's not right for a woman to read. Soon she starts getting ideas, thinking."
This quote highlights the idea that women are not seen as intellectual or able to think. Belle is viewed as a highly abnormal woman because of her desire to read and her disinterest with marriage. This was a new concept for Disney princesses. Nevertheless, Belle's character still displays the stereotypical domestic roles as she nurtures and tends to her father and also the Beast. The problem with this is most young children imitate the behavior of their favorite characters in much the same way that they learn social and cognitive skills by imitating their parents, siblings, and peers. Through consistent exposure to these admired princesses, young girls are taught that the socially accepted gender roles are the ones depicted in the films. The most recent Disney princess film, Frozen, has arguably been called the first animated feminism movie. What is empowering about this movie is the strong sisterly bond and independence of the characters Anna and Elsa. Steering away from the typical damsel in distress, the climax of this movie is Elsa and Anna's love for each other saves them and the town, rather than a strong-willed prince saving the day. It conveys a message to young girls that you do not need a man to rescue you, but a power of a female bond and love is just as powerful. Both girls display independence, physical and mental strength, and do not conform to stereotypical gender roles. This is a positive step forward for Disney princess movies in conveying a pro-feminist message.